So the other day, I went out to vote. Now, I really didn't want to vote, but in all honesty, my girlfriend has just been relentless about this. She's been just like all hyped up about politics all summer, talking about how big and important this election is for President of the United States, Barack Obama versus Mitt Romney. I'm just like, like that's the actual noises I make. That wasn't just like, over exaggerated. And she's just, again, relentless just to no end. And I'm like, I don't even know anything about these two guys, and she just goes off on a tangent how it's our right as American citizens to vote. It's important to pick who is going to lead our nation, who's going to make the decisions, and all this other crap, and just all sorts of other mumbo jumbo that I'm just like blah 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 blah. Anyway, I understand that. Like, she does have a few good points. I know, most females don't make good points, but she makes some from time to time. And the whole thing about, it's our right as American citizens to vote. Like, oh, please, come on. I've voted numerous times before, and I have to remind her of instances because, like I said, she starts, berating me with, all of these factoids and shit. And I'm just like, look, remember that time that Sanjaya was, in American Idol, and he was getting basically moved on in the show because people were voting for him because he sucked? I voted in that numerous times. Then I told my girlfriend, I was like, all right, there was that time at work, that time I had a job some years ago. It was, I actually got fired because of this, but it's bullshit. But anyway, there was a vote taking place with the coworkers and me, where the guys got together and we voted on who we thought was the female that had the best set of tits. Now, oh, excuse me for being a patriotic American that wanted to express his God-given right to vote. Oh, you don't hear me? Like, if someone said I had the nicest set of tits at that job, which I did, I wouldn't be like, oh my God, I'm offended. But this girl, she got all uptight. She went to HR, reported all of us, and got us fired. Now it's a business run by women. Oh boy. Whoa. Anyway, so yes, the point is, I understand what it is like to be an American and have the right to vote because I've exercised it numerous times. Granted, it was just those two instances, but that is still more than once. So I'm like, okay, fine, all right. I don't want you thinking you're better than me, because she does think she's better than me. And let's face it, she's not. Anyway, she's going out to vote, and she's telling me about the candidates, and I'm just like, oh, this is really boring. I don't want to do it, but if it's gonna, save face and maybe, help me get a little something, just like, I don't know what I'm trying to signal with my hands here, but anyway, who knows? It may be brownie points for the future, so okay, I'll just, take time out of my day, even though I have a very strict schedule of blocked television that I watch, and the voting hours are during the prime hours. Like here in Pennsylvania, the voting hours are like 8 o'clock to, I don't know, I'm just acting like I know. It's something to something. But that's beside the point. The point is, I devote a lot of my life to watching specific programming. Now I'm like, okay, well when am I gonna go to vote? Because I watch TV all day. The couch behind me is my throne. That television is my whatever is in front of a throne. Anyway, the point is, I had to, and this is, I know a lot of you guys aren't going to believe this, but I have a block of daytime television that I watch. It goes Steve Wilkos, a couple episodes of Cheaters, The Maury Povich Show, and then Jerry Springer. Now this is like asking you to pick between one of your children, because I'm like, well, I want to get the voting done before that, because then the soap opera block starts up and I'm not interrupting that shit. So I'm like, oh my God, I gotta pick which one of my children I want to abandon. So a couple days ago I decided that the Steve Wilkos Show would have to be cut into. So I decided that, I was like, it's really kind of a rip-off, hacky show. I mean, they do like the paternity test and lie detector test. I mean, it's a guy from the Jerry Springer Show, and it's ripping off Maury. So I'm like, okay, I can understand if I don't know if Shanice is the baby mama of that guy. And anyway, I went ahead and I missed part of an episode of the Steve Wilkos show, and I went out to vote, and when I was walking there, I was like, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney, like, are they even relatable to me? Like, I don't even know what their platform is, and like why I should vote for one guy over the other. All I know is I've seen pictures of them, and I don't know anything about their issues, but I know Mitt Romney, much like me, has the gray hair on the sides of his head. So I was like, all right, that's relatable to me. And then I was like, how does Barack Obama relate to me? I was like, well, he's the leader of the free world. He makes the top decisions, and I'm like, well, that's pretty much my reign in this household here. So I'm relatable to him from that end. I mean, he controls the White House. I control this house. So I'm like, I'm relatable to both guys. Now I'm in a dilemma. I'm like, oh, jeez. Now who am I going to pick? So anyways, walking to the polling location, I stop at Dunkin' Donuts, and wouldn't you know it, Barack Obama and Mitt Romney are sitting there sharing jelly donuts with each other. Now, it was a little awkward that they were sticking it in each other's mouths. I thought that was a little kind of cum si cum sa. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I mean, they had tough campaigning and they wanted to take a break or something. Anyway, I thought it was cute, and people were taking pictures and stuff. And I asked him, I was like, hey, Mitt, Barack, is there any reason why I should vote for either one of you guys over the other? And Mitt just looks at me and he says, why don't you mind your fucking business? We're having lunch. And I looked at Barack, and he just kind of like scowled at me. And then, but behind me, Ihor just says, well, why don't you vote for me? To which I just went. That was my actual reply. I just went. Anyways, I thought it was really weird that all three of them were there at the same time. But I respect the fact that Mitt and Barack were very busy, and when you're eating jelly donuts, that is something you really don't want to interrupt. So I was completely in the wrong here. So I got a cup of coffee and I just left there, and I was like, man, both men. I liked how they handled themselves there, and just Barack gave me that evil scowl, just like don't fuck with me, motherfucker. And I was like, ooh, I can respect a guy that's like that. And then Mitt Romney just flat out told me to fuck off. And I was like, ooh, that's the type of person I want leading my country too. This guy's a badass motherfucker. So I'm like, Jesus Christ, who am I going to vote for? And, I'm kind of walking along, and, it was cold out, but the trip was more enjoyable because there was a lot of homeless people on the street. And I just, when they're lined up in a row, I kind of try and do what Roger Moore did in that James Bond film, where he was trapped on the little islands and the villain left him there to die while the crocodiles were coming, or were they alligators? I don't know. I can never tell the difference. But anyways, what he does is he goes on the island and he runs to land by running on the top of the crocodile heads, and like they're snapping up at him as he's going. Well, anyways, I like doing that with homeless people. It's seen by some people as evil and cruel, but I don't know. I think it's pretty fun, and I'm all about me, so that's all that really matters. But anyways, that's just a nice little side point I wanted to throw in there. So anyways, I finally get to the polling location. It's my local strip club. Now, no one told me this was or wasn't the polling location, so I just went to where I wanted to go. I figured that they just put a polling booth up somewhere, because like they have all those little jerk off booths there. So I'm like, they probably made one of them into a polling booth. I was like, wouldn't that make sense? I mean, hello, am I the only smart one like thinking properly in this country? So anyways, I get there and I go like to the little jerk off booth section, and Harry's working today, and I'm like, hey Harry, what's going on? He's like, hey Archfiend, you want the regular? And I was like, no, I'm not here to beat off today. I wanted to vote for Barack or Mitt, and I really don't know who I was gonna vote for. So I started talking to Harry about it, and he's like, well, for starters, you got to come to your own conclusion. Harry's talking to me, and he's like, you got to come to your own conclusion about who you want to vote for. I shouldn't have to tell you. He goes, second off, this isn't a polling location. And he goes, thirdly, voting is on Tuesday. How was I supposed to know that? Wait. True story.